Picking up right where we left off with our one-armed legend, even with just that one arm. Daven took down the strongest fighter in the kingdom, but things took a dark turn when that snake Akai framed him. Next thing he knows, the royal guards are dragging him away. He actually reincarnated as the seventh son of the Adenka family, last time. After Daven absolutely wrecked that brat Melon, he finally wakes up. He is lying there in the infirmary bed, just staring at the ceiling. His two servants rush in. They are literally crying tears of joy. They honestly thought their young master had already kicked the bucket. Then Hacker walks in to check on his condition. She brings up the upcoming duel between the Adenka and Samuel families. This event is massive, with both clan leaders attending in person. Hacker admits that Melon was originally supposed to take the lead, but since our guy beat him into the dirt, it is all up to Daven now. Now get this, his opponent is the sixth son of the Samuel clan, a total prodigy, and the top pick to be their next clan leader. Daven decides it is time to stretch his legs and get moving. He wants to train. Ignoring Julia, who is trying to stop him, she knows his injuries are way too severe for that kind of stress, but she clearly did not expect him to be this stubborn. Daven asks if there is any way to get stronger. Right now, Julia flatly tells him that with his current state, he has zero chance. Pushing his body any further would be a suicide mission. She bans him from the training grounds entirely, period. She warns him if he steps foot there, he is on his own. 3 days later, a carriage pulls up to take them to the Blood City. Hacker tells Daven he is going to have his carving ceremony soon. All the direct descendants of the Adenka clan are gathered here today. It is the first time Daven has seen the others besides Melon. There is one girl, Hana, who gives off a seriously dangerous vibe. Before long, the clan head makes his grand entrance in the hall. He calls Daven forward to step into the spotlight. With a swing of his blade, the carving ceremony is complete. Just like that, he is officially recognized as a true member of the Adenka family. That very same night, under Julia's watchful eye, Daven gets to work. This is the first time Daven has seen descendants other than Melon, especially this girl Hana. Something about her just feels off. Seriously dangerous. Quick as a flash, the family head appears in the grand hall. He orders Daven to step forward. Then, he performs the carving rite using Daven's own sword. That single moment officially makes him a recognized member, a true part of the Adenka family. Later that night, under Julia's guidance, Daven prepares to move. He starts channeling the Titan brain mana flow, opening every meridian, guiding the energy toward 3 points. Once those 3 points connect into a perfect triangle, the silhouette of the ancient Titan suddenly manifests. But out of nowhere, Daven loses all control. Lightning energy starts leaking out of him, non-stop, ripping through his body, flooding the entire area. That Titan finally speaks. It's actually pretty interesting. A human wanting to reach godlike power. Huh, you summoned me through the blessing activation? He booms. And I gave you exactly what you asked for. The Titan hits Daven with a brutal ultimatum. Choose die right now, or endure the agony to survive. If you survive, you get the divine blessing. But look, stealing power from gods is never easy. Daven's body is already pushed to the absolute limit, overloaded. His system is on the verge of collapsing. Just when things look like their overhelp arrives, a healer shows up, sent from the fortress. Working together, they stabilize his wrecked body. Slowly, Daven's injuries start to heal up. He actually pulls it off. He gains the divine favor. But then it hits him. He knows zero swordsmanship. Nothing of what Aslan left for the Adenka family. Daven asks the military commander about his training mentor. But get this, the answer completely shocks him. He's gotta go find his own teacher? Man, that's just plain depressing. Usually, clan elders invest in talented heirs. They handpick a master to sharpen that potential. Sometimes, veteran warriors volunteer to train direct bloodline descendants. The elders personally oversee their training from a young age. But here's the catch, he's this old and empty-handed. Still no teacher to guide him. The commander is basically speechless at this guy's situation. News travels fast. The word gets to the head of the house. The maid, Elsa, claims she knows exactly who he needs. Someone strong. Someone who mastered the Adenka swordsmanship. He wields the Great Lightning. They call him the Lightning Master. None other than the vice-captain of the White Sword unit, Merlin. She tells the house head not to worry about it. She's friends with him. She can convince the guy. Next day, Elsa shows up at Merlin's doorstep. Time to recruit a trainer for our young master. Merlin was first approached to back a candidate from the Adenka direct bloodline. He wasn't interested at all. So he shut them down right away. But then he heard the name Daven. And rumors were flying around. Word was that Daven had actually received a blessing from the Great Thunder. That news made Merlin stop and think he really wanted to test that out. Still, he was worried sick that the elders would never sign off on it. Say, those elders hold massive sway inside the clan. They carry real weight. They didn't want Daven muscling his way into the line of succession. Not when they already had their own puppets lined up for the spot. The council exists just to keep the clan head's power in check. So even the clan head can't fully control what those guys do. Ray Elsa wanted to help Daven out. But she was in a tough spot. She couldn't leave the head manager position empty for too long. It just wasn't an option for her to step away from her duties. That meant for this year's friendly gathering, Daven had to manage. He was going to have to handle everything on his own. Then Lien suggested another way, the Samian sword technique. In his past life, Daven had actually been a member of the Samian clan. It was a solid idea. But wait. Here's the problem. The moment that clan saw Daven using their signature sword style, they would hunt him down and tear him to pieces right there. That plan was way too risky. It was basically a death wish. Daven thought hard. Could he pull off that guy's skills? At his current level, would it even be possible to master it? Meanwhile, over at the Samion family castle, things were getting intense. Deep inside a dark room, a white-striped tiger sat trapped. Heavy chains bound it, keeping the beast completely under control. That was the blue-eyed white tiger, a nightmare of a monster. The very creature the Adenka clan had to slay to reach Blood City. Standing right in front of that monster was a young guy. He had blonde hair and was wearing a single earring. That's Kagan, a direct bloodline descendant of the Samion clan. And you probably guessed it, this guy was Daven's rival. They were set to face off in the upcoming clan competition. It was going to be a battle between these two powerful families. The next day, Selbira came looking for Daven to talk. She even brought a special gift along to hand over to him. But out of nowhere, something invisible shoved her back. She stumbled, forced away from him by an unseen force. Daven was standing there, his blade already drawn and ready. A layer of wild purple energy wrapped around his sword's edge. What was that skill? It looked like he was holding a totally different weapon. It wasn't the Blood Lotus anymore. He sheathed it and asked why she came. Selbira caught her breath and told him she had come for a reason. She was here to deliver that gift. It was something important. This enchanted crystal is something else. But it's what's inside that counts. It's not just a rock, it's a recording. Turns out, the crystal holds all of Kagoni's old battles. Our guy Daven needs every edge he can get against this monster. The next fight is going to be brutal. And he knows it. Daven grabs Selbia's hand to thank her. And she's blushing hard. She yanks her hand back, all flustered, pretending to be annoyed. I mean, we all know she's totally into him. But she's playing it cool. Selbia warns Daven to be careful watching this. It gets pretty violent, definitely not for the faint of heart. She jokes that it's not for pregnant women or nursing moms either. She activates the crystal, and the projection flickers to life instantly. Daven can't believe the quality. This tech is surprisingly crisp. It's basically full high definition with no filter, absolutely top-tier viewing. Now watch this. Kagoni's vibe is just plain dangerous. One strike, fast, clean, and over before you can blink. He forces his opponent onto the back foot with pure pressure. And then, hidden within that flurry of strikes, he lands a massive blow with enough force to shatter stone. The opponent's sword doesn't even stand a chance, it just breaks. Everyone sees the guy surrender, thinking the match is finally over. But what Kagoni does next makes Daven's blood boil. Even after the guy taps out, Kagoni just doesn't stop. He doesn't show a single ounce of mercy to his opponent. He swings his blade right across the guy's face, cold as ice. That's the price for challenging a member of the Samian family. Daven's eyes narrow instantly, his expression shifts to pure focus. Why does this guy act exactly like Kazan? Looking at him, it's like seeing a ghost. Maybe the resemblance is just a crazy coincidence. But then, the techniques he uses, even the tiny habits, every little detail hits too close to home. It brings back all those memories of Kazan bullying him in his past life. Kagoni Samian, we definitely need to have a talk. A few days later, the big friendly meetup finally kicks off. That's the Mage Association president, Enbekto, taking the stage. She welcomes everyone. Happy to see such a strong turnout today. Everyone's waiting for the details on the 3-stage event. Stage 1 is up first. A massive treasure hunt through the enchanted dungeon. They have to track down every single hidden relic inside. Stage 2 is a conquest, a real fight against beasts. They've rounded up some nasty monsters just for this trial. And finally, the friendly duel, the real highlight of the day. Let's get this treasure hunt started. Shall we? The guild master decides which beasts get spawned by magic. The marshal suggests an 8th grade reptile or demon. Perfect. Well, perfect for a 3-star martial artist anyway. But the Samian family crowd has other ideas. They're pushing for an 8th grade fracture behemoth instead. The marshal shuts it down, saying it's way too dangerous. Seriously. That beast is for 4-star fighters and up, but they don't care. Calling it a rare event. They're goading everyone. Acting like it's no big deal, the marshal is fuming, ready to teach them a lesson. The guy isn't even scared, just daring him to step up. They're both about to throw down right there. Then the guildmaster bellows for them to stop. He orders a vote to decide the beast's difficulty. All those in favor of the behemoth, raise your hands. Just like that. Almost the entire room puts their hands up. The marshal finally realizes something is seriously wrong here. Most of them are in the Samian family's pocket. Even the magic guild head is on their side. The Samian family is insanely wealthy and holds so much power. They've bribed everyone, turning the whole place against him. Still, the marshal tells Daven he just needs to win. If he pulls off a victory, everything else falls into place. Hacker looks shocked, never expecting that from the marshal. He used to look down on that kid, but now he's confident. The day of the exhibition match arrives, and the hall is packed. There's even a homemade camera flashing like it's a real event. Daven walks in, looking sharp and completely transformed. He's wondering if Kagoni is linked to Kazan from his past life, or maybe he's just overthinking everything again. Regardless, he can't shake that lingering, heavy suspicion. Before long, Kagon appears before the crowd in city residence. This is the first time Daven has laid eyes on him. Kagoni acts so polite and refined, playing the perfect gentleman. No one suspects the cruelty hiding beneath that mask. He's actually a cold-blooded monster underneath all that grace. They shake hands while the cameras keep flashing away. Everything about the guy seems perfectly normal on the surface. Yet for some reason, Daven feels an immediate, deep unease. That gut feeling? It's screaming that something is wrong. Kagoni tells him he hopes he can prove his strength today. Daven agrees, claiming he's just as eager to see his moves. Even before the real fight starts, the tension is thick. They lock eyes across the arena, pure battle intent flaring up. Once everyone settles in, the real challenge is about to begin. Everyone is finally settled into their seats in the arena. Hacker officially declares that the friendship match is now underway. The very first challenge is a massive treasure hunt. Both contestants are about to step into a magical dimension. Their goal? Retrieve chests that look exactly like this one. But there is a massive catch inside this magical realm. Monsters and a giant are guarding every single treasure chest. Each contestant gets to pick 2 9th-rank cadets as support. These cadets are part of the clan's support team for the event. Adenka of Daven gets the first pick of the cadets. Daven immediately chooses 2 specific cadets for his team. He picks Season and Harmon to join his side in the hunt. Hacker is completely shocked these 2 are the bottom of the barrel. They are basically known as the worst students in the academy. Hacker asks Daven if he is absolutely sure about this choice. Daven just grins and says he is totally locked in. Daven has a very specific reason for picking these 2 guys. He doesn't want Kagon to have any excuses when he loses. Plus, there is a second reason for his strange choice. These 2 might have a distant relationship with everyone else, but at the end of the day, they are still Adenka clan members. In reality, Daven is doing this to taunt Kagon. He wants to make him overconfident and let his guard down. Kagan will definitely pick the exact support partner Daven expects. Just as he thought, one of the 2 9th-rank cadets picked. It is none other than Selbira. The portal to the other dimension swings wide open. The treasure hunt officially kicks off as the group moves in. Daven and his team of 3 step into a dark cave. One of his teammates asks to borrow a crystal for light. Daven agrees without a second thought. He is actually a decent leader. Meanwhile, Kagon is somewhere else, far away from any eyes. He finally drops the act and shows his true, nasty colors. Kagan tells his support partners to stay far away from him. He clearly thinks they are way too useless to even be near. Back in the cave, Daven's group runs into a terrifying beast. The monster has a face that looks like a pure nightmare. Look at that massive horn growing right out of its forehead. His 2 support partners think they are about to be finished. They honestly believe this is the end for all of them. But Daven strikes fast, slashing his blade right into its shoulder. The beast lets out a scream of pain and crashes to the ground. Daven turns back to his teammates with a clear command. He tells them to follow the plan exactly as discussed. They nod and pull out the tools they prepared for this moment. Make as much noise as possible, time to bait that monster. It's like trying to sleep at midnight while your neighbor blasts music. The monster is beyond furious, it chases them down instantly. That's his chance. Daven makes a break for it to find the treasure. He's searching, eyes scanning every corner. Before long, a chest pops up right in Daven's field of vision, but he hasn't even touched the prize yet. A massive monster jumps out of nowhere. It swings, landing a hit so painful it sends him reeling. This one's different, a giant with one eye and two horns, and it's way faster than the one they fought outside. Tai Ui is fuming, two giants appearing in the cave. The Samian family definitely pulled some strings behind their backs. Seeing some guy mocking him, Tai Ui loses it. He grabs the guy by the collar, ready to snap. Luckily, Heka stops him just in time. If he starts a brawl here, the Adenka family loses everything. No matter how angry he gets, it won't change a thing. Let the other team talk trash for now. Once the match ends, Heka will handle them one by one himself. Meanwhile, Kagoni's group hits a giant of their own. But it doesn't take long, Kagoni crushes it. Suddenly, another giant sneaks up right behind him, but Kagoni is unfazed. He unleashes his blade. Samir sword style, first form. Soft steel. The giant's hand gets shredded into pieces in a heartbeat. Before the beast realizes what hit it, Kagona lunges. One clean slash across its face. That massive body hits the ground hard. Watching from outside, they're stunned. Kagoni is this strong? Against him, even these giants don't stand a chance. Over elsewhere, Daven is still stuck with that two-horned monster. He tells Julian to come up with a plan fast. If that thing grabs him, he's getting flattened. Julian says to lure both monsters into one spot. Then, hit them with that absolute sword skill. But Daven thinks that's a suicide mission. They're just too big. If he aims for one, he loses track of the other. Daven has to take down both giants with a single strike. And his two support guys? They're shaking in the corner, scared out of their minds. He needs to take down both giants in one clean strike. Meanwhile, his two sidekicks are shaking in the corner. Total terror. Because right in front of them, that giant they were running from finally caught up. Nowhere left to hide now. They are legitimately cooked. Luckily, in that split second of pure danger, Daven arrived just in time. But you will not believe this, he did not show up to save them. He is actually here to lure that two-horned giant right to this spot. Big Brother is a total menace. He is sabotaging the two of them. One monster was already a death sentence, but calling in a second one? Unreal. Suddenly, both giants charge forward. Daven shouts out loud, ordering Julian to get into position. Julian appears behind them in a flash. It turns out, these two had a plan mapped out the whole time. Because those giants are so massive, Daven cannot use absolute sword skills alone. He needs something that can slice through both monsters at once. That is where Julian comes in, the other half of his soul. Just then, the one-horned giant raises its hand to smash him. Daven immediately unleashes the first absolute sword stance shifting form. A single swing creates a wave of energy that wipes everything out. It slices the one-horned giant clean in half. But the momentum of that blade does not stop there. It keeps cutting straight into the body of the two-horned giant. And just like that, both giants are wiped off the map with one strike. Daven is built different. Seeing this, the guild leader and the Samian family crew are in total shock. Only the commander realizes what this is. Daven's absolute sword skill. The 7-kill strike. Now watch this, things are about to get tense between them. That sword skill cannot hurt a god. But it still terrifies Julian. You dog. You almost sliced right through me. Do you even know that? Calm down, buddy. Why so tense? Humans cannot beat gods anyway. The other two guys cannot even see Julian. So they ask who Daven is talking to. Daven turns back, giving a vague excuse. Otherwise, they might actually think the man has lost his mind talking to thin air. Daven tells the two guys that it is finally time to get out of here. Once again, he uses his absolute sword to shatter the space hidden by magic. Then, the whole dimension collapses, dumping all three of them back into the arena. The hooded guy is terrified. Never expecting Daven to break his magical dungeon, he immediately assumes Daven cheated, or that his magic must have failed. Daven turns back, muttering something under his breath, just nonsense, before they think he's completely lost his mind. Talking to himself, Daven tells his sidekicks it's time to leave. Once again, he uses his absolute sword technique. He shatters the space hidden away by that dark magic. Everything collapses, sending all three back to the arena. The hooded guy is terrified, stunned that Daven could do this. He never expected anyone to break through that magical dungeon. He assumes Daven cheated or the magic simply failed. Whatever mistake the Grand Chancellor thinks he made, he is dead wrong. No point in wasting breath on words. Daven's blade can cut through anything. Even he didn't expect the magic to hit this hard. It is absolutely devastating. Suddenly, someone in the crowd snaps. A loud scream cuts through the air. It is the Magic Guild president losing her mind. She claims Daven broke the law by wrecking the dungeon on his own. Heka fires back immediately. There is no rule against that at all. Heka reminds her that she is supposed to be neutral and fair here. She should not be acting so bitter. She is furious, purple with rage. But the public is watching her now. She cannot risk doing anything reckless in front of everyone. Two supporters ask if Daven grabbed the treasure. Didn't he already win? The hooded figure cuts them off. That is not nearly enough. The first stage is just a trial for his raw power. Finishing before anyone else? That does not mean a thing. With the time left, if Kagon shows off his real talent now, the victory will still belong to the Samian family. But Daven does not look worried at all. He even says Kagon will wrap this stage up pretty fast. The others are confused. What does he mean by ending the stage? The dungeon they entered, was it not created with synthetic elements? The environment is supposed to be perfectly balanced by nature. Now pay attention here, is where the logic turns lethal. Since Daven already destroyed a clone dungeon, where else would the mana to fuel this one come from? To explain, Daven uses a water pipe analogy. Think of two separate taps running at the same time. If you block off one of them completely, the pressure shifts entirely to the other side. That flow is going to explode with raw, violent force. That means the giant Kagon is fighting? It is twice as strong as it was before. Kagon has no idea why this thing is suddenly a beast. It is like an invincible tank, it just will not die. Kagon tries to comfort himself, keep his head straight. Even if the giant is stronger, it is still just as stupid. Its attack patterns are incredibly simple. Kagon is convinced as long as he swings his sword at the right second, he can still take the giant down. He lost his arm, but he still totally underestimated the Titan's real power. A single punch slams down. The ground literally shakes under the impact. Kagoni realizes something is wrong. But it's already too late. Something must have triggered this Titan, because otherwise, how could a dying beast suddenly reach Saint tier strength? And just like that, the monster charges straight at Kagone. It raises a massive hand to crush him. Just as the kid's about to take another hit, Selbira leaps in. She starts banging on her gong, desperate to draw the beast away. The Titan loses its mind and chases her instead. Honestly, Selbira doesn't care about arrogant Kagone at all. But this is a crucial step in Daven's plan. Still, there is one thing Selbira never saw coming. The first Titan Kagone slashed? It's still alive. Now she's backed into a corner, surrounded by two monsters. No way out. Just when you think she's finished, Kagone jumps high. How dare you idiots ruin my performance? Blood Red Dance final technique, Bloody Moon Dance. A single blast of crimson sword energy tears through the air. In the blink of an eye, it pierces both Titans at once. Turns out, Kagone was hiding his real strength the whole time. He was just playing with them to show off for the crowd. But then the monsters got unexpectedly strong and ruined his whole act. The hunt ends as the three of them step through the portal. Kagone is genuinely stunned. He can't believe Daven finished first. Daven admits he had a friend who's a magic genius. That friend helped him overload the mana in Kagone's dungeon, knowing he got played. The guy is absolutely fuming on the inside. But on the surface, he still tries to act like a gentleman. I accept my defeat, he says. And I misjudged you, Daven. But things change now. I'm finally seeing you as a real friend. And Daven, he plays it cool. I'm looking forward to it, my friend. With that, the results of the first match are, in the winners are the Daven family. But Daven finished the challenge faster than he ever could. Daven just claims he has a friend who's a magic genius. Thanks to that help, he overloaded the mana in the dungeon. Kagone is stunned, realizing Daven played him for a fool. He's losing it. He is fuming. But he still tries to act like a gentleman. He admits defeat, claiming he underestimated the boy. He warns Daven that things will be different from now on. He claims he's starting to see him as a real friend. Daven just smiles. I am looking forward to it, my friend. The first match result is clear. The Adenka family takes the win. You really didn't notice? It was pure skill. Nothing else. The next challenge for the Adenka trials is finally happening. Just 3 days left on the clock. Kagome tracks down Selbira to say thanks. He owes her big time for the giant cave mission. Honestly, if she hadn't moved fast, he would have been toast. Kagome reaches out to shake her hand, acting all friendly. But her gut, it's screaming at her not to do it. Something feels wrong about this contact. Still, he's being so polite that she finds it hard to refuse. So, against her better judgment, she finally shakes his hand. I'm heading out now, right? Take care, he's really here to thank me. As soon as she's out of sight, his whole demeanor shifts. Kagone's face turns dark, twisted, and genuinely menacing. Goodbye for now, Cadet Selbira, he whispers under his breath. That evening, Siri is deep in her solo training. Wilson heads into the woods to pay her a visit. He's lugging a massive bag stuffed with supplies, full of food and fresh clothes for her. Siri asks about the match. Did the young master make it through okay? Wilson breaks the news that Daven crushed Kagone from the Samyeon family taken down in the first round. The second match is set for 3 days from now. Wilson checks in on how her training is going. She says she's making serious progress, moving fast. She can already commune with spirits on the snowy mountain. It won't be long until she lands a formal contract. Soon she'll be a full-fledged spirit mage. As they talk, a sudden, desperate scream echoes through the dark forest. Someone is in trouble out there. Meanwhile, the cadets are letting loose at their party. They're raising glasses, celebrating Daven's big win, and the Adenka family's massive success tonight. Daven waves it off. He only beat Kagone by 1 point. Is all this shouting really necessary? Selbira disagrees. Beating someone by even a single point is no small feat. In the long history of the Adenka family, that result is considered a major achievement. Right as they fist bump to celebrate the victory, Daven suddenly senses something incredibly dangerous. He grabs Selbira's hand without a second thought. His face goes pale with genuine worry. Seeing him act this way, she starts to feel a real sense of dread too. Right there on Selbira's hand is a glowing seal. The Samyeon family's curse mark. Daven demands to know what happened. Have you had any physical contact with a member of the Samir clan lately? She spills everything how Kagome grabbed her hand to say thanks. And just like that, the truth hits home. He actually placed a seal on her. It sounds like a simple seal, but it is basically a death curse, a dark skill that slowly drains the victim's mana until they just fade away. Daven looks at Selbira and tells her they are training together at dawn every day. The girl is over the moon, thinking he is finally asking her out on a date. The next morning, Daven and Julian put their heads together to break the curse, but even Julian is stumped. He has never even heard of this magic. This seal must be lost to history, like the legendary swords or the demon body. I will never forgive you for this. Kagome using dark magic on an innocent girl. Daven does not have to wait long, because Selbira arrives in the forest. She has her hair down, dressed up, wearing makeup, a total change from her usual look. She asks Daven if she looks okay, but our guy just misses the point entirely. Why are you dressed up so flashy just to go out for some training? Even Julian is speechless at his friend. Seriously, how can he be this dense? She is clearly into him, but he has zero clue, truly single by his own choice. Daven thinks he is just a middle-aged guy at heart. So how could he like a 14-year-old? In the forest, they hold hands to start working on her mana flow. Keep cycling your mana through every meridian in your body. Tell me if anything feels off. She cannot feel the flow at all, as if she has lost all sensation inside. Daven realizes he cannot break this alone. The seal is way too strong. To create a curse this powerful, you usually need a heart from a spirit or a living being. Kagome is definitely hiding the sacrifice somewhere deep in the snowy mountains. Find it, to release it, and the seal breaks. But if Daven fails, Selbira will lose her life in exactly 3 days. Julian looks at him, dead serious. 3 days is all the time we have left. But Daven figures in his past life he was an old man, so how could he ever be interested in a 14-year-old girl? Out in the forest, the two start practicing mana flow together. Keep cycling that mana through your body's energy points. Tell me immediately if you feel anything strange. She cannot feel the flow at all. It feels like she has completely lost the sensation. Daven knows he cannot break the seal alone. It is just too powerful. To create such a heavy chain, something is definitely wrong, but he's not giving up, not yet. Usually, a seal like this needs a heart from a beast, spirit, or even a human. Kagoni is definitely hiding that sacrifice somewhere deep in the frozen mountains. Once we find it and set it free, that sealing chain will finally shatter. If Daven can't get it done. Selbira? She's not making it past 3 days. Julian says those 3 days are also the critical stage. There's no one left to turn to now. So let's see who actually walks away the winner of this friendly match. Monday is almost here, and they really need to be ready. But for Darvin, his teammates' lives still come first. Their safety matters way more than winning some match. If only his past self had people by his side, maybe then he wouldn't have died alone in that prison. Julian asks Darvin how he knows about the seal curse. Darvin admits that back in his previous life, the guards used something just like it to trap him. They used it to seal his mana and torture him. While they're talking through their thoughts, trouble stirs behind them. Selbira just collapses onto the snow. Completely out cold, Kagoni's seal curse is already taking hold of her. Darvin rushes her to the infirmary to get help. He stays by her side. But the healer is helpless. She says there's nothing more she can do here. She urges him to take her to the Gaia temple. But the curse is spreading way too fast now. Selbira doesn't have enough time to make that trip. Darvin tells the healer to watch over her closely. He's heading to the snowy mountains to find the sacrifice. It's the source of the seal itself, the last possible way to save Selbira's life. Samyon clan bastards. He growls. Not another one. I'm not losing anyone else to your dirty games. On his way up, Darvin runs into Ciri again. He tells her he's hunting for the mountain's seal. It's his only hope to bring Selbira back. These things are usually small, easy to keep hidden. Maybe a tiny creature or even a trapped spirit. Hearing him mention spirits, Ciri suddenly remembers something. She tells Darvin she might actually be able to help. He carries her to the spot she pointed out, moving as fast as he possibly can. This is it, Ciri says. Remembering the place, she once heard cries for help from down that ravine. They head straight into the crevice to search. Everything is dead silent. No one answers their calls. Darvin's losing his patience, ready to blast the place open. Suddenly, Ciri spots something buried in the snow. It's the spirit of a tiny little creature, chained up just like the curse on Selbira. Seeing how it suffers, Ciri asks if he can save it. Darvin shakes his head, saying it's already too far gone. It's been a sacrifice for way too long now. Letting it go is the only real kindness left. There's still one way. He realizes one path they haven't tried yet. A magic circle suddenly flares into life, pulsing beneath Ciri. A soul contract? If Ciri binds herself to that spirit, the seal chains break. The higher order contract shatters the binding spell instantly. Just like that, the curse is gone. It's actually broken. The little beast finally finds its freedom again. Ciri scoops it up, clearly happy to have the little guy back. Daven breathes a sigh of relief. Watching them together, Selbira is safe now. The immediate danger to her life has passed. But out of nowhere, a flash of light streaks toward them. Daven senses the threat instantly and moves to block it. Rage boils in his gut. If he hadn't reacted that fast, they would have both been shredded by that incoming sword aura. Kagan steps out from the shadows, eyes icy and cold. How dare you interfere with the Samian family's traditions? He sneers. Seeing his face, Daven feels his own anger hit a breaking point. Daven grinds his teeth, staring him down. You actually had the guts to show your face here alone. Kagan doesn't blink, warning Daven about being hostile toward House Samuel. He offers a twisted choice: walk away and leave the beast behind. If they just leave it. Kagan claims he'll pretend nothing happened today. Daven screams back, how dare he call that an exchange? You were literally trying to take Selbira's life. Kagan doesn't even flinch, totally unbothered that his secret is out. To him, the world only has 2 types of people. The nobles, like himself and Daven and everyone else. Everyone else is just low-class scum, born to be ruled. He reminds Daven that Selbira ruined his plan in the Giant's Cave. For that, he thinks she deserves the most brutal punishment possible. Someone of your status should understand that. Kagan hiss. This is the natural order. It's the law of our world. Daven, but the second the words leave his mouth, a blade snaps to his throat. You Samian trash never change. A voice cuts through the tension. 500 years later, and you're still the same. Your laws mean absolutely nothing to me. Kagan doesn't look scared, he looks intrigued by the threat. Nice look in your eyes, he taunts, though it's clearly mocking, because your gaze is that sharp. I don't think we'll be friends. Well then, let's just see who comes out on top. A friendly match. he calls it. Though it's anything but friendly. Back in the infirmary, the weight of the seal curse still lingers. Back in the hospital, the curse of the sealing chain is still burning. Khan keeps an eye on Kagoni, wondering if the kid can sense his presence. He releases a burst of pressure directly at him just to test the waters. But the guy is totally oblivious. Not a clue that Khan is right there. Selbira's hand went back to normal in a flash, and she finally woke up. She has no memory of what just went down. None at all. When the news hits, Daven rushes straight to the ward to see her. He grabs her hand, immediately scanning for any sign of that curse. Sure enough, that sealing chain? It's completely gone. Vanished. Daven lets out a massive sigh of relief. But she's still clueless. She doesn't even realize how close she just came to meeting her maker. The healer reminds him only 2 days left until round 2. She asks if he's ready, and Daven just flashes that grin, looking totally confident. He declares he's already got everything handled. That Kagoni kid is always asking for trouble. Honestly, for the second round, Daven's facing off against a real monster. That same night, over at the Adenka family mansion, tensions are high. When news of Daven's victory arrives, the 4 elders are stunned. Honestly, it's a total shock to them. The Adenka house hasn't seen a win like this in 5 years. But one of them, the elder with the blue hair, senses danger. His name is Delbek. One of the 4 great elders. He knows the history. For over 500 years, the elders held all the cards. Real power in the Adenka house was always in their hands. But things took a sharp turn. 25 years ago, Khan Adenka took over as family head. Khan was a different breed of leader. He was sharp, ambitious, a true strategist. He centralized every bit of power, pulling it all to himself. Suddenly, the elders were elders in name only. They couldn't stand being sidelined like that. So they started grooming their own puppets to take the throne. They wanted the next family head to be just a figurehead. That way, power would finally slip back into their grasp. But if Daven keeps winning against the Samian family, all that work they put in, it's all going to go up in smoke. Because once his name hits the family stele, Daven officially becomes direct blood. With a claim to the throne, Khan is using Daven like a sharp blade, a weapon to strike back at the 4 elders. For their own sake, they absolutely cannot let him keep winning. They need to stop him. Right here and now. But how? They need a plan. Anyone have any bright ideas? The scarred elder finally speaks up. Shifting the mood, he suggests sending a letter to the Samian house. The message? The Adenka house won't recognize their underhanded move as a win. Samian family is having real trouble. The second round of the tournament is hosted directly under the authority of the Adenka family. 2 days passed finally. The moment everyone waited for has arrived. Today marks the second round showdown between the Adenka clan and the Samian clan. The second round is a conquest match. There is only one rule: take down the monster in the shortest possible time. Kargon is up first. His opponent is a lizard man wielding a spear. The match begins. That lizard man is incredibly aggressive, charging in with its weapon to attack Kargon, but its target just vanishes. The weapon hits nothing but the arena floor, while the beast is left stunned, confused by what happened. Kargon appears right above its head. He activates his skill, First Moon. Lightning flash. A single strike slashes down. The body of the lizard man is sliced in half. Blood sprays everywhere, enough to fill over a dozen bowls. The match ends, and the timer stops. Kargon only needed 86 seconds to butcher that monster in the second round. And get this, it's a new record. Smashing the previous one by 20 seconds. The crowd is going wild, cheering loudly for his performance. Now it is time for Daven to step up. He walks onto the stage. His opponent is a lizard man currently locked away inside an iron cage. However, Daven quickly notices something is definitely off. This lizard man has a vicious expression, drool dripping from its mouth, eyes filled with bloodshot red veins. It looks absolutely feral. In another room, the Elder Council is casually enjoying hot tea. They are curious about what the scarred elder actually did to that lizard man. He says he did absolutely nothing, no magic or special drugs used. He just kept the lizard man starved for 2 whole days. Once a beast is tortured by hunger, that is when it becomes its most dangerous. If fresh prey appears right in front of the hungry beast, Now. It will rip them apart and devour them whole. Back to the match, Daven and Julian realize the lizard man is going insane from starvation. Its eyes are locked onto Daven, filled with pure to ravenous hunger. The match starts. The lizard man lunges immediately, with the beast breaking free. Daven has to keep his distance, but if he backs away now, that record 86 seconds is gone. Kagoni's record seems impossible to break, so Daven does the unthinkable. He drops his guard completely. He spreads his arms wide, inviting the strike. The crowd loses their minds, screaming for him to move. Right then, the beast lashes out with the spear. It moves at a blur of speed, striking in a heartbeat. It pierces Daven's left shoulder. But he doesn't flinch, because, at the same time, Daven's blade finds its mark. It slams deep into the beast's right arm. Thanks for the help. Daven mutters, "You just cut my time in half. Since you're stuck deep, I don't even need to waste my crowd control. Now, eat some lightning, taste this power." He activates his ultimate, boosting his strikes with concentrated rolling thunder. The beast takes the full blast of Tulin's electric might. It gasps, eyes rolling back, as the arena fills with crackling blue energy. What on earth is that? The crowd whispers. The whole ring is surging. Someone get the healers. Now. Wait. The commander shouts, "Look at Daven's time first. Look at the board." The final time is 5.39 seconds. The result is official. Daven takes the second round. He wins. Clear as day. Family healers rush to the ring to check the damage. "We have to pull that spear out." The lead healer calls out, "On my count. Yank it out together. Get ready. 1, 2, 3. Kagone watches from the sidelines, face pale. He never thought he'd run into someone this reckless. Thanks to the healers, the blood flow stops almost instantly. Daven's wound is already starting to seal up. He turns to Kagone with a smug, mocking grin. "Keep talking." He goads, "Why don't you keep barking now?" Kagone is shaking with rage, teeth gritted to the breaking point, but there is absolutely nothing he can do. The second round is over, and the gap is set in stone. The Samir family has lost again. The third round, the final showdown, is set. 3 days from now. That boy. He's Savannah's son, isn't he? I can't wait to finally meet him face to face. If this healer thinks their job is just a light, easy paycheck, clocking in, collecting a salary, and living the high life, they have no idea what's actually waiting for them. Everything shifted, though, the moment Daven arrived. Every few days, he'd end up half dead after some brutal fight. He kept ending up in the infirmary, forcing the healers to work overtime. It took massive effort to patch him up. Turns out, the truth is grim. Daven's heart hasn't fully healed from the trauma yet. If he pushes himself too hard before he's fully mended, he risks a permanent cost. He might never be able to use mana again. Just then, Hacker bursts in, cutting through the tension with news. An important guest has sent an invitation for dinner. She just got word that Lord Khan is here, and the lady from House Samion, Kagon's mother, arrived too. House Samion wants to host a dinner for Daven and Lord Khan. A dinner invite straight from the Samion family. Daven has no idea what kind of scheme they're plotting this time. It's been a full year since he last saw Khan Adenka. It is a real pleasure to finally see you again, Daven. The woman standing before you is Lady Vankia of House Samion. She wastes no time, and soon the food is served for the evening. Kagon is joining them at the table tonight, too. As Daven eats, he's silently sizing up Lady Vankia. Her look is exactly like his father from his past life. That firm, steely resolve, it's a hallmark of the Samion bloodline. You've gotten pretty petty in your old age. Khan, what do you mean by that? After all this time, how could you hide someone so adorable away? Daven suddenly feels a massive wave of pressure crashing down on him. Instincts honed from countless near-death battles flare up. His gut is screaming one thing: Lady Vankia is terrifying. This kid. He actually managed to react to my hidden aura. Cold sweat instantly beads on Daven's face. Even breathing has become a struggle under this weight. Lady Vankia's aura is sharp enough to slice him into ribbons. This woman isn't just a noble, she's a truly fearsome swordmaster. She can't help but inwardly praise Daven for his sharp senses. Khan turns to him and asks, "You actually felt that pressure?" "Yes, Lord Khan." Khan's eyes quickly dart over to Kagan, wanting to test the boy. He wants to see if his grandson can detect his hidden aura, too. So, Khan immediately unleashes a heavy wave of pressure toward Kagon. But the poor guy just sits there, completely clueless about what's happening. The match starts in a flash. And Daven strikes first with a thunder sword. He's just probing. But Kagoni? He blocks the entire thing with one hand. Daven is stunned. How could he possibly be this strong? That blood-red mana is flaring up like fire. What are they even doing? Looks like Daven's natural talent is still a step above. Meanwhile, Kagoni can't even feel a shred of aura. And just like that, the Samian family is getting crushed. Crushed again by the Adenka house. It's not even close. After dinner, Clan Head Khan and Lady Van Kia head to the balcony. Talking about the son, he's grown up pretty well. Hasn't he? Some people interfered with the joint family gathering. Was it the Samir clan elders? Do you think? You're only half right. Their elder council is definitely mixed up in this too. I'm certain the 4 great elders of Adenka are plotting something. Their target is Daven. They want to wipe out that variable as soon as they can. What do you think? Will our boy take the win in round 3? I'll tell you this much, the Adenka clan is going to crush them. You're talking about that old wish again? If it hasn't happened in 500 years, isn't it time to quit? But the interference from the elders, how will you stop them? No one on this continent survives after cheating me. Nothing is going to stop Adenka's victory in the 3rd round, because my son gave me his word. I promise. Father, I'll win and come back victorious. A few days later, the 3rd round arrives. The final match of this entire gathering. Lady Samian and the Adenka clan head are both watching closely. It's the duel everyone's been waiting for, Kagoni versus Daven. Julian warns him, keep your current condition in mind. Your heart is injured. You get one shot at that ultimate sword technique. Just one. That's it. Daven has to find the opening and finish this in a single strike. The match kicks off, and Daven lunges with a probe attack. But Kagoni? He blocks the whole thing with one hand. Daven's heart skips. How is he this strong? That blood-red mana is flaring up now. Could it really be that? Daven can't ever forget that aura, the Samian family mana. The very thing that caused so much pain before. Could it really be that? Daven can never forget the mana of the Samian clan. It's the same power that took everything from him back in the day. He remembers his old friend, that white-haired guy named Fan Quan Amarulun. How could you possibly know my sword style? Kagoni demands. Not only do I know it inside out. You'll drop your right foot first. Then step back to dodge. Caught completely off guard. Kagone rage. Screaming about dark magic. Choan once suffered a bitter defeat. That cursed mana, it feeds on the owner's own life force. Look at that glow. The Blood Emperor's might is active. You seem to recognize this thing. Don't you? Let's see if you even know how to neutralize it. As Kagoni lunges, Daven immediately raises his sword. He braces himself, preparing to intercept the strike. Yet, before he can even blink, he's already hit. A single blade strike lands clean across his defense. Daven can't believe it, he's actually bleeding. How is this speed even possible? This isn't just basic Blood Emperor's might. This level of power blows young Kazan's abilities completely out of the water. Kagoni has surpassed everything his predecessor could ever dream of. With a ferocious roar, Kagoni swings his blade forward again. And while he fights, this kid just keeps on trash talking, constantly mocking and baiting Daven with every move. Did you think you were something special earlier? That arrogant look from the first 2 rounds, did the dogs eat it? Why don't you act like you can beat me again? I won't let you raise that sword ever again. Sword auras from both sides collide with intense pressure. A massive explosion rocks the entire arena floor. Daven quickly retreats, desperately putting distance between them. The Blood Emperor's might weakens if the fight drags on too long. Time is the only thing Daven needs right now. Kagoni is relentless, attacking without a moment to breathe. He gives Daven absolutely no chance to recover his strength. A crescent/arc tears through the air in an instant. Anything the sword aura touches is completely shredded to pieces. As the dust settles, a deep trench scars the arena floor. The destructive power of that crescent/slash is terrifying. Truly, the force behind it is off the charts. Kagoni laughs like a madman. This is the price for crossing the Samian clan. But then, a calm voice cuts through his laughter, and he freezes. Is that really all you have? Sword technique of Amirulun 3rd form. Great sword guard. Now, focus. We're flashing back to the past. At the Samian family's training grounds, Kazan ruled with arrogance. He was a reckless youth, cruel in every strike. If anyone dared to defy him, they faced brutal punishment. Back then, When Daven was just a younger student, he had a best friend, a guy with white hair. His name was Fan Kwana Miralan, but before he can even finish, Daven is already charging in. If he hadn't dodged, that blade would have taken his head clean off. These two first crossed paths right in the clan arena. Back then, they were just puppets, mere background noise for Kazan, just meant to make him look like a star. Fan Quan asked Daven about that time. Did he really think he could win? Take down a young master whose very existence is a cheat code? Yeah? It sounds like a stupid dream, right? But no, he actually tried. I think he was the only one who could have done it. Fan Quan was a talented martial artist, a loyal friend who never stopped cheering for Daven. But Fan Quan's growth was too fast. Too dangerous. The Samian clan grew paranoid. They set a trap. The elders moved in. And he paid with his life. But Fan Quan left something behind for Daven. A sword style named after his own clan, the Amilun. It's the total opposite of Samian techniques. And it hardly uses any mana. Back in the arena, Kagoni sneers, "What is this weird sword style?" Daven doesn't blink. This is the justice of the Amalun clan. A technique belonging to someone who died for it. Kagoni just scoffs. If that's the case, he says, it's probably useless garbage. Suddenly, he launches his sword right at Daven. Daven blocks the strike with his greatsword. But watch this, Kagoni's already moving to reclaim his blade. He closes the distance in a flash, unleashing his dancing blade style. It's brutal. Lightning fast. But something goes wrong. Just as the sword is about to land, Kagoni vanishes. The crowd on the stands is just as lost as we are. But Daven, he's already 2 steps ahead. He dodges perfectly. And Kagoni's face goes pale. "How do you know my sword path?" He screams. Daven is calm. "I don't just know it. I know every move you have. You'll step with your right foot first. Then pull back to dodge." Caught in his own rhythm, Kagoni loses it. What kind of dark magic is this? He barely gets the words out before Daven lunges forward. If he hadn't dodged, he would have lost his head right there. You see, Kagon's style, to Daven, it's all too familiar. This fighting style, to Daven, it's all too familiar. During the entire second round, Kagoni just sneers with total contempt. Fine then. If you're playing like that, I don't care about my life either. Even if my body shatters, I'm going to take you down. Daven isn't backing down either. He goes for a suicidal trade-off strategy. Every single strike they throw is a killing blow. No holding back. Now watch this. The intensity is about to hit the breaking point. Daven's greatsword gets smashed, but he lands a heavy hit on Kagoni's left arm. They both scramble back, trying to put some distance between them. It's the strategy. It's identical to Kazan's from his past life. No one in this world understands Kazan's sword style like he does. Kazan and Kagoni, both absolute geniuses. Both with the same fatal flaw. They're identical. They can manipulate any situation with their raw power. But when something unexpected hits, they lose their minds. They start attacking completely blind. Amalun sword style. First form great sword song. In a single, absolute strike, Daven snaps Kagoni's blade in two. The entire arena erupts. It's pure chaos. Did Kagoni's sword just break? How is the Adenka family winning all 3 rounds? Kagoni can't take the shock. He goes full berserk. Daven notices it immediately. His mana? It's getting weird. It's dense. Kagoni decides to bet it all on his strongest skill. He hasn't even mastered it yet, the Casa Saint Sword Blessing. This blessing grants a swordsman insane master-level talent. And once they reach the peak, they unlock something else. It's a power that lets them transform their sword into a new form. Kagoni is at the peak of the 4-star realm right now. He's pouring every ounce of his strength into the Blood Emperor strike. The 2 blades collide. The shockwave tears the arena apart. Even the distant crowd feels it. You risked your life all match just to sneer at me? Then I don't care about my life either. Even if I shatter, I'm taking you down. Daven doesn't blink. He goes straight for a suicide trade. Every single move they throw now, it's a kill shot. Daven's greatsword gets smashed, but he lands a heavy hit on Kagoni's arm. They blast apart, gasping for air. They've pushed their bodies past the absolute limit. It all comes down to this one final, desperate exchange. Kagona channels it. Crimson Blood, the final technique. By now, they've both hit their absolute limit. A look of pure disdain curls onto his lips. Fine then, if that is how it is. I will not care for my life anymore. Even if this body shatters into pieces, I will defeat you. Daven refuses to back down. Matching that intensity strike for strike, he shifts his style, switching to a desperate, life-for-a-life tactic. Every single move they launch is pure chaos. No holding back, just straight for the kill. Daven's greatsword gets shattered by Kagon, but he lands a heavy hit on his arm. They trade blow after brutal blow, neither giving an inch. Both fighters recoil, scrambling to put some distance between them. They are both hitting their absolute limit now, gasping for air, with their bodies at the limit. They bet everything on one final attack. Kaganti, channeling that crimson energy, the ultimate technique. Bloody full moon is active, but Daven counters with his own move. Absolute sword style third form displacement. Old thunder sword art against the power of the blood moon. The result? Lightning brilliance completely overwhelms the dark. Daven suddenly appears right above Kagoni. Watch closely now. Samyeon clan, from here on out, you are nothing but challengers to me. A single strike decides the winner. Kagan is down. He can no longer continue the match. The referee declares the victor of the third round. It is the Adenka family. The whole arena erupts in chaos. How has it been this many years? And why only now? Why has the Adenka house suddenly produced such a talent? Facing the roar of the crowd, Daven feels a strange déjà vu. It is exactly like 500 years ago. Finally, he has pulled it off once again. Meanwhile, in a meeting room for the four great elders, after hearing about Daven's win, the mood turns sour. One of the four loses his temper, shattering the communication device. The scarred elder just turns terrifyingly dark and silent. Daven's progress has completely exceeded their expectations. It looks like their little bet has failed entirely. Somewhere deep in the snowy mountains, two people are talking. This year's friendly competition is becoming quite interesting. Seth, do you think I could take down both Daven and Kagan? This young man is the heir of the Vatican family. They are a house famous for spear techniques, equal to Adenka and Samyeon. I really want to fight Daven. Is there any way? The young man quickly hatches a devious plan. Daven will stay in the city since he is a cadet. Contact my father. I want to join the Blood City as well. Back to our lead, he suddenly finds himself in a void. Total darkness everywhere. Daven thinks to himself, could this be a world hidden within my own memories? Suddenly, out of the shadows, countless hands reach for him. Startled, he immediately grabs his sword hilt, preparing for a fight. He scans the dark. What is surrounding him? A swarm of shadow warriors. Watch out, this is about to get messy. He's not going down without a fight. Every one of these things is closing in fast. His grip tightens, he's ready for blood. Darkness falls, and two glowing red eyes cut through the night. Daven doesn't hesitate, he starts swinging. Basic moves but deadly. The whole mob gets wiped out in a single heartbeat. Then Kazan steps out from the shadows. His voice, cold as the deepest abyss of hell. You finally showed up. Daven, Daven shouts back, one hand raised. What are you even doing here? But before he can finish that thought, Kazan lunges. Suddenly, Daven feels it, a crushing wave of mana slamming down. It locks his entire body. He can't even move a muscle. Just as the situation hits rock bottom, help arrives. A flash of a blade cuts through. Kazan is knocked back. A figure in a blue cloak stands right in front of Daven. It is Aslan. Daven is completely stunned. Why is Aslan here? Of all places? They barely have time to speak before a massive suit of armor appears. Aslan reveals the truth. That thing is the great archdemon, the one behind all this chaos. Aslan turns to Daven. Urgent. There is no time left. That monster has already locked onto your presence. You have to move past the Samir house and face the truth that was left behind for you. Everything is in your hands now. Wait. Aslan. Daven jolts awake, gasping on his bed. It was just a dream. But those final, cryptic words still echo in his mind. They leave his head throbbing with a dull, heavy pain. He already beat the Samir family, but the truth remains hidden. Is there still something missing to master the Adenka technique? Just then, the door to his room swings wide open. To his surprise, it is the clan head, Khan. Everyone scrambled to bow, clearly caught off guard. Khan waves it off. He is only dropping by for a moment. He tells everyone to relax. No need for formalities. Khan praises Daven for that incredible showdown against the Samir clan. He offers him a reward, asking what he wants most. Daven remembers Aslan's warning and finds his focus. He speaks up. He is not a true Adenka yet. He needs a master to teach him the family's sword style. Khan sighs, reminding him that the elders already hate him. Daven knows. But he just humiliated the Samir house for them. If they still want to act like that after what he gave, he tells the clan head straight he is ready to fight back. They gave it their all. Yet the attitude they're showing? If they're going to push back like that, I'm giving it right back to them. The old man didn't expect to run into such a reckless kid. He decides to take Daven to meet a master for sword training. This mentor is none other than Merlin, who the maid once mentioned. He is an 8-star martial artist and the current master of the Thunder Domain. Let me properly introduce myself. I am the vice captain of the White Sword Squad, currently serving under the Huang Long Association. My name is Merlin Fucker. Daven is visibly shaken, nearly jumping out of his skin. Did you just say fucker? He's stunned because that happens to be Aslan's old family name. Meanwhile, back at the Samuel estate, do you even know why you lost to Jor Kagoon? Your opponent saw right through you. You lost your cool and let your emotions take control. You brought this shameful stain on yourself. I am sorry. Mother, enough. Failure is the mother of success. But make another mistake like that, and I will personally peel your skin and pull your tendons out. Yes. Mother. I understand perfectly. I know you're frustrated by that loss. But we are in front of Mother. Pull yourself together, ancestors of mine. That Daven, the one who caused all this trouble, has finally surfaced. Back to the first meeting between Daven and Merlin, the maid reveals the Fucker family is an ancient martial arts clan. They have been serving the Adenka house since its very founding. Merlin has finished the registration. So tomorrow he can start teaching Daven. Push yourself further than you ever have. Yes. Father. I will give it my all. There is no way to know what they might try to do to me later. Over here, the Elder Council is bickering. The worst-case scenario they feared has finally come to pass. Daven has become a hero after crushing the Samian house. They have no more chances to hold back his growth now. Just how do you plan to take responsibility for this mess? I have no excuses left. That kid has grown far beyond our wildest expectations. Our expectations? There is no us here. Isn't this just your own little scheme? Old man? Still trying to lie your way out of this? It really is true friends in prosperity. But in disaster, you are on your own. What do you mean? There's no we in this. Wasn't this your plan and your plan alone? You're still going to try and deny it? Some brotherhood ready to share the glory. But nowhere to be found. When the consequences hit, everyone's on their own. The scene shifts to a gloomy, dark dungeon deep within the estate. Samian, the mage guild leader, and a hooded figure are there. He cuts to the chase. I have a few questions for you. Tell me. Elder. Why are you bribing these mages behind my back? The elder is terrified, stammering that he only wanted to secure the win. Just trying to add some extra polish to our side's victory, he claims. Is that so? Does the Samian house really need you to meddle? Adding polish to a victory, that's your excuse? I absolutely despise politics and all these cheap, underhanded tricks. They don't suit the honor of a true martial artist at all. We have never once been involved with mages or outside organizations. This is my own path to power for the Samian family. My legacy. My rules. Everything I do is solely for the benefit of House Samian. So why not just step aside and fade into the background? Go farm, raise some ducks, or just find somewhere else to retire. The bald elder storms out, retreating back to his own private room. He's fuming, pacing around, cursing up a storm at his communication device. Turns out, the scarred elder from the Adenka house is in on it. He's been conspiring with this bald elder from the Samian side. If this keeps up, we're going to get caught in the fallout. We can't let them pin the blame on us for stopping Daven. We have to come up with a new plan to finish him. That little brat, we need to wipe him out as soon as possible. Tonight. We strike tonight. There is no other choice left for us. Late that night, Daven is fast asleep when he suddenly snaps awake. A sharp, cold killing intent. Something is definitely wrong in the dark. Someone is here to assassinate him, but he dodges just in time. Daven reaches for his blade, ready to cut down the intruder, but he freezes. He recognizes that stance. It is his own master, the man who taught him everything. So this is Merlin's twisted way of training his reflexes? Just trying to sharpen Daven's senses. A bit extreme, wouldn't you say? Poor guy can't even get a decent night's sleep with this teacher. Seriously. It's rough, having Merlin as a mentor. Merlin drags Daven out to the middle of nowhere. A strange, remote place. He tells him he has to pass this brutal test to leave. Merlin wants him to shatter his own lightning and reshape it. He claims Daven's current path is completely misaligned. He just isn't grasping the true potential of his own power yet. You need a rock-solid foundation before learning the Adenka sword style. Merlin holds up a strange, glowing pendant made of pure magic. He says only Daven's lightning can destroy it. That is the challenge. The real training starts now, and it's going to be a long, painful road ahead for him. Only after you smash this pendant, then you can even think about it. Watch closely as I teach you the Adenka sword style. Daven, this right here is what you call a true lightning strike. It looks way bigger than the one Daven and Julian saw before. Everything happens in a blur. Daven gets shoved back immediately. That power, that raw pressure coming off Merlin's lightning is intense. Why is that blue lightning so different? It's not like ours. It's completely unlike anything Melon or I could ever pull off. Merlin says he is no teacher, so don't expect a lesson. He won't explain it scientifically or break it down for you. There's no system to his madness. He just uses the method he thinks is best for you. Keep going until Daven finally grasps the real, true lightning technique. Merlin's lightning is going to be Daven's biggest obstacle. And so, the brutal training session with Merlin begins inside the cave. A whole week has passed by. But still, no news from anyone. Right now, the kid is basically getting demolished by his teacher. Daven's movements have sharpened up, but his lightning? Still nothing. It hasn't improved even by a single inch. No matter how hard Daven tries to push himself, it fails. He just can't seem to surpass Merlin's lightning technique. There is something fundamentally different about it. It feels like the core itself is just on another level. Daven takes a break to grab some water and thinks hard. Then it hits him, wait. What if I don't need a bottle? He suddenly screams out loud, finally finding the missing piece. That shout grabs the attention of both Julian and Merlin. Daven thought he had to suppress his lightning energy before releasing it, like he was trying to save every drop of water in a bottle. But he was wrong. That was never the right way. Just let it flow naturally through your veins to the blade. That is the secret. Merlin smiles to himself. The kid finally gets the point. But this lesson is far from over. Daven has to shatter the pendant held in Merlin's hand. Only then can he move on to the Adenka sword style. Now watch this. The real test starts right now. The match kicks off, and they both charge at each other. Their blades collide, sending arcs of electricity, crackling everywhere. Merlin notices something right away. Daven's footwork has changed. There is a completely new rhythm to his movement. Daven is circling his opponent with blinding, impossible speed. He's moving so fast that you can only see afterimages. Daven instantly unleashes a massive lightning strike. But Merlin is a veteran swordsman and he is ready. With all that experience, he blocks the strike without breaking a sweat. Merlin reacts instantly, swinging his blade to knock the attack aside. Daven stumbles back, eyes wide, totally shocked that his massive sword was actually deflected so easily. In that split second, Daven spots the scar across Merlin's face. Deep, old, and jagged. A reminder of a time Merlin was completely overwhelmed, so badly he didn't even have a chance to heal it. The pain, the fear, the humiliation, the sheer failure of it all. For a master fighter, that kind of trauma is a fatal weak point. Spotting the opening, Daven lunges, snatching the pendant from Merlin's neck. Finally, he puts everything into one strike and shatters it. Just like that, Daven clears Merlin's test. Now, Merlin begins to pass down the secret Adenka family sword style. A few days pass, and Siri brings Daven some serious news. An official notice has been sent directly to him. He's been ordered to complete a grade 9 cadet mission. Daven knows this doesn't add up. These missions are usually reserved for grade 7 fighters or higher. It turns out, the order came straight from the Adenka elders themselves. They're openly dumping this task on him and it feels wrong. Maybe it's a test, or maybe it's just a trap. The council likely wants him gone, seeing him as a threat to their power. Both the captain and Merlin urge him to refuse. It's far too dangerous. But get this, Daven decides to take the mission anyway. He sees it as his own personal challenge. If he makes it through, he'll come out stronger on the other side. Even if he ends up a casualty in their twisted power struggle, he's willing to risk it, since he's part of the Adenka bloodline too. Later, the captain brings the situation to Heka. She knows exactly who cooked up this dirty scheme. It has to be that cunning old man, Tilavon. Just then, they get an urgent alert from the city gates. Some unidentified fighter is causing a scene outside, demanding to see Daven no matter what. The guards are trying to hold him back, and tensions are boiling over. just as the golden-haired fighter starts to unleash his technique. His entire body gets suddenly lashed by mysterious bindings. Someone's stirring up trouble outside the city gates. Demanding to see Daven, the guards refuse to let him pass. And that's when it started. Tensions flared up instantly between the two sides, just as he was about to unleash his ultimate move. Disaster struck. Everything stopped. Wait. Look closely at this moment. His entire body got locked down. Completely immobilized. Something is out there. It turns out the hacker just struck with a rod, right there in his hands. The guard sees this and rushes to save his young master, but he doesn't even get the chance to move. The marshal pins him down before he can lift a finger. Once the golden-haired guy realizes the hacker is actually the city lord, his bravado vanishes in a heartbeat. He immediately begs for a spot as a cadet. Meanwhile, Daven is currently sitting inside a carriage. They are on the road, heading toward Tony City. At a glance, this mission looks like a total breeze. Daven only needs to take down one single goblin. Still, he isn't about to let his guard down. Who knows what kind of traps might be waiting ahead. Goblins are pack hunters individually. They might be weak, but they are viciously smart and know how to work together. But here is the weird part about this job. The target mentioned is just a solitary goblin. That only leaves two possibilities for what happened. Either its pack abandoned it, or something even worse. The creature likely killed and devoured every single one of its kind. According to the report, the beast is somewhere nearby. Daven tosses the carriage driver a bag of coins. He tells the man to let him off right here. Before leaving, he warns the driver to get out. He needs to clear this forest as fast as he can. Daven walks into the woods and plunges his sword into the earth. He activates his signature skill, Giant Thunder Rain. It can blanket the entire area in a web of electricity. A few small lightning bolts are enough to track movement. Daven immediately senses something moving through the trees. Sure enough, it is the exact goblin from the contract. Its massive size and grotesque appearance are shocking. Even a veteran like Daven feels a bit of unease. Julian suggests it might not be a goblin at all. It looks more like a chimera born from dark magic. If that is true, this thing is far more dangerous. Daven knows he has to move with extreme caution now. Just then, he senses another presence entering his lightning web. Something is stalking through the range of his ability. Watch this. The tension is about to snap. A projectile slams directly into the tree, right where Daven was just hiding a moment ago. He looks closer. It is a spear. So the blonde kid tracked him all the way here, looking to challenge Daven to a duel, but man, he has no clue. This guy just messed up Daven's entire plan by showing up like that. Now Daven's position is completely exposed. Talk about a major pain. Honestly, this kid is nothing but trouble for everyone around him. The chimera lunges at Daven, but he dodges. Quick as a flash. One hit from that beast is all it takes to snap a massive tree in half. Daven shouts a warning to the blonde kid. Eyes locked on the monster. Listen up. He yells. That is no ordinary beast. It is a chimera. Suddenly, the chimera shifts targets, lunging straight for the blonde kid. But watch this. The kid just lifts his right hand into the air. A spear flies out of nowhere, slamming dead center into the chimera's head. Then, just like that, the weapon snaps right back into his palm. Turns out, this blonde kid actually knows his way around a fight. He is absolutely schooling the chimera, forcing it on the defense. His spear techniques are moving so fast, the monster cannot dodge. Perched high in the trees, Daven watches the chaos unfold below. He's thinking, who on earth is this blonde kid? Anyway, he is leagues above any other swordsman his age. He is operating on the same level as Daven and Kagon. The kid unleashes a flying spear, technique total precision. It tears through the chimera's arm, shredding it to pieces instantly. But in a heartbeat, the wound stitches itself back together. The arm regrows, and the beast looks even more vicious than before. It moves like a blur, appearing behind the kid in a blink. Things go from bad to worse in that split second. Then, brilliant light flares up, pinning the beast in place. Magical chains lock it down. The kid's guardian just arrived in time. Even those powerful restraints cannot hold it for long. Though, the chimera rips through the magic like it's nothing at all. Suddenly, a massive magic circle erupts underneath its feet. In an instant, the chimera vanishes, completely gone from sight. Not far off, standing on a cliff, a hooded figure is weaving spells. Seems like this stranger is the mastermind behind the whole monster attack. With the beast finally gone, Daven demands to know who they are. The blonde kid is Raven Air, to the powerful Vatican family. And the guy next to him? That's Julian, the family's second steward. Daven's heard that name before. And he knows exactly who they are. They're famous for a reason. The Vatican family is a big deal. Seems like he's involved with this guy. Once that chimera finally cleared out, Daven turned to ask Hai, that guy with the gold hair? That's Raven, the young heir to the Vatican family, and the one standing right next to him? That's their head steward. Hai had actually heard of them. This family is incredibly famous. Seriously. The Vatican name is known everywhere. 3 famous martial arts clans alongside Adenka and Samian. Their specialty? They are masters of the spear. Plus, the current head of the Vatican clan has only one child, just one son. So, the blonde guy is already destined to rise. He is set to become the next family head. Julian advises Daven to try and make friends with him. He says it would be incredibly beneficial for him. If Daven could just get close to the Vatican clan, then the Council of Elders wouldn't dare lay a finger on him again. Just then, the butler speaks up. We demand an explanation from you, my lord, about that strange goblin, and why a young master of the main bloodline, like yourself, would be out here on a mission all alone. I simply cannot allow my young master to get tangled up in the civil war of the Adenka clan. But the blonde guy unexpectedly fires back. Who even cares? I have something more important, something much more important. The blonde guy wants to do one thing. He wants to challenge Daven to a fight. Watching that battle between Daven and Kargon left him feeling pumped. He wants to crush him and prove he is better than Daven. But Daven says no way, because he still has a mission he needs to finish first. The blonde youth keeps pushing just one match. Come on. Fight me. Even as the guy keeps jumping around like a maniac, Daven keeps saying, no means no. The guy is absolutely fuming. I cannot fight you until I defeat that chimera beast. The blonde guy falls right into the trap, thinking if he just helps Daven kill it, then he will finally accept the challenge. Even the butler is speechless at his young master. How is he this easy to bait? Afterward, the 3 of them head into a restaurant in Tony City. Daven decides to reveal the truth to them about this goblin hunt. It is a trap that the elders in the clan prepared just for him. The blonde guy also notices that the scales and horns on the chimera look strange during its transformation. While eating, Daven suddenly catches a familiar scent. It is the smell of a dungeon from the Samian clan. In a flash, Daven's eyes lock onto a figure dressed in a white cloak. Seeing Daven, this guy immediately looks terrified. He even knows his name. Daven immediately demands, who are you? Who sent you here? Before the guy can even answer, the mana inside his body suddenly goes completely out of control. The blonde guy and the butler rush forward. Daven turns back, demanding to know what is going on. He warns the others the target's mana is unstable. It is about to blow any second now, and just like that, the diner erupts in a massive blast. Everything inside is shredded instantly. Daven was too close. The force sends him crashing down. He hits the floor hard. Out cold. Gold hair rushes to help, carrying Daven up to a room. He needs to rest up. His mana veins are a wreck. That mana explosion turned his internal energy into total chaos. The cloaked guy is dead, his body brought back to the room. Daven wants to heal alone, asking the 2 to stand guard. The butler wonders, are you really not worried about their motives? If my gut is right, this butler is at least a 7-star warrior. If he wanted me dead, it wouldn't matter if I was meditating. I would be finished either way. Daven then conjures a magic cocoon around himself to start healing. That cloaked man? Dead. Yet his body looks perfectly normal, like that explosion never even touched him. But wait, the 2 guards notice something. The corpse is starting to fade away into nothingness. By the time night falls, Daven finally breaks out of the cocoon. His wounds have healed up significantly. Suddenly, a voice echoes from right behind him. It catches Daven off guard. It is the butler, looking for answers. You knew that man was going to explode, did you not? So why stay? Why not just run? The diner was packed with innocent people, even mothers holding their own children. The butler stares. You really are the most righteous blade I have ever met. But he draws a line. He will not be joining this mission. I want to see what you can do with that righteous blade alone. No family backing you up. Just you. The next day, Daven and Gold Hair head deep into the forest. They are hunting a chimera. This guy has no idea where he is going. Yet he charges ahead. I thought we would run into goblins. But there is nothing here. No monsters in sight. Maybe the nest is not nearby. It could be much further out. So what is the play now? We are going to have to. We were supposed to run into some goblins around here. But honestly, we haven't seen a single monster since we started. Maybe their lair isn't anywhere close to this spot. It's probably way further out than we thought. So what do we do now? We need a plan. Stick to traditional search methods, and you get absolutely nowhere. Not when you're hunting something this massive. That chimera? It's huge. It's going to leave a trail right through this forest. No way it can hide that. This is how Daven tracks skills honed across years of hunting down every kind of demon in his past life. They follow the tracks deep into the forest until they hit a wide field. But Daven gets this sinking feeling. Something here is wrong, something way too off. These tracks look almost too obvious. Like they were set up on purpose. Hunting monsters is never this clean. And he's right. This field? It's nothing but a trap. They barely dodge a magical mine waiting under the dirt. Julian warns him, look at this place. It doesn't add up. With this humid climate, you should see reeds everywhere. Yet it's totally clear. Daven doesn't waste another second. He unleashes a massive storm technique right into the center of the field. Someone's hiding in there. He's got no choice but to show himself. He blocks Daven's attack with ease. The guy introduces himself as Kava, hired by the Adenka elders to take Daven out for a cool 100 million gold. But then, two glowing eyes appear from the darkness behind them. They both launch their best techniques, splitting up fast. But the chimera just mirrors their attacks right back. Now Kava's jumping in on the fight too. And here's the problem, Daven's still nursing wounds from that massive explosion yesterday. He's not even close to full strength yet. It's a side effect from his ultimate sword art. That kind of damage doesn't heal overnight. Kava laughs, thinking he's already got the 100 million in the bag, but Daven just looks at him, calm as ever, and says that the monster belongs to him. Just as he finishes, the enemy gets swallowed by magic. Turns out the butler was waiting for his moment to strike. He lands a perfect skill, slicing through the chaos. He apologizes to the young master for being a bit slow. Daven knew he was there the whole time. He couldn't just let his master head into a trap alone. But look down at the dirt, there's nothing left but scraps of Kava's clothes. Right at the last second, the guy managed to bolt. Kava's clothes are shredded, hanging in tatters. In the blink of an eye, he hits his speed burst just in time. Kava just realized the butler's true identity. He's actually the legendary former assassin king, the infamous Vatican Phantom. Second, Kava wants everyone's bodies he's planning to craft. The most perfect chimera the world has ever seen. Battle lines are drawn. Daven and the blonde guy take on the beast. While the butler faces off against Kava, Daven lunges in with his ultimate sword technique. But the chimera stops the blade cold with its left hand. That thing isn't just a tank, it's an absolute wall. It even completely shrugs off all magical attacks. Meanwhile, the butler and Kava are trading blows in a high-stakes duel. Kava taunts him, revealing he controls the beast using a special collar. Any monster that wears it has no choice. It has to obey every single one of his commands. Kava suddenly snaps his fingers. The chimera vanishes instantly, then reappears right above the butler in a flash. In the blink of an eye, it slams down. A massive shockwave ripples through the entire arena. Luckily, the butler manages to teleport out just in time. Now, the blonde fighter notices something odd: those scales on the monster's left arm. They belong to a dragonkin. Dragonkin went extinct ages ago. They look just like regular humans most of the time, but when they enter a combat state, their bodies grow dragon scales, making them nearly immune to magic. You absolute idiot. Attacking like that, if you hit us, how are we supposed to survive? You brainless beast. You dare growl at me? Go ahead. Try it. Fight back against my command if you think you can. You're stuck under my control. If you try to defy me, I'll drain your dragon blood and destroy you completely. So it's the collar's property? That gives me an idea. That brings us to the end of part 2. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button to support. See you all next time.